So the topic today will be my first day in private school. So this is how it started. My dad woke me up one morning and was like, let's go to a open house. I was at an open house to where he's like, oh, I want you to go to a different school because the school I was going to at the time was not that well for school. It was not that good for school. So I went to the open house and I bought all my awards so I can just like show to the teachers, try to be cool. And one thing I noticed, the first thing I noticed was like, I was like one of the only black kids in the whole area, the whole school. And I was looking around, and, like everybody was different, but like I didn't even really notice it until the first day of school. So the first day of school, I was getting my clothes ready. We had a uniform. We had khaki pants, and we had a white polo. So like, I got that ready. I ironed it. I told my mom about how nervous I was, but she said, you know, just be confident. She had a great day. So then got dropped off at the carpool. And as I was walking in, I was just like nervous because I was just a young kid and just didn't know what to expect. Because like from a public school to a completely Catholic private school, that's like a big change. So I was like, what should I do? So as soon as I walked in, I got lost. So a lady redirected me to my class. My teacher there was, her name was Miss Fisher. So as soon as I walked in, we had assigned seats. So I sat in my assigned seat. I remember sitting on a desk just like this. And then I looked around, everybody's just like so serious on their desk. I was like, and then I remember she was starting to talk about how the class will go, or what we'll be learning and stuff. And then she also added that we'll be switching classes during different periods. So like I'll go like across the room to Miss Getty's class for certain subjects like science and social studies, and for math and reading I'll come to Mr. Fisher, which is my homeroom teacher. So after learning all that, I wasn't really paying attention because I was so nervous. But after all that, it was time for lunch. And when I walked in the lunch line trying to get my lunch, there was a list of names. I was like, why is there a list of names of people for lunch? And then someone told me next to me, like, you have to like sign in or gotta order your lunch or something, and then before class starts. I did not know about this, so I was like, yeah, I didn't order my lunch. I tried to talk to the lady. The lady was nice to me, so she gave me lunch, even though I didn't order. And then I saw people getting 2 lunches. I was like, how do people get 2 lunches? Then I realized that you can order twice. So when I got my lunch, I sat down. I looked around to see who I could sit down, like who of a group of friends that I can just meet and then they'll be cool with me. I looked around, there's not really a lot of people, not a lot of friendly people, so I just sat alone. And ate that day. Just scouting. After that lunch felt like it lasted like 2 days because it went by so slow because I was just sitting alone, just everybody was like watching me. Honestly, after lunch we went back to class. After we went back to class, everybody started getting excited. I was like, why is everybody getting excited for? And then I realized it was recess. And I was like, recess. I was like, yeah, all right, recess. We get recess. And this guy told me like we get recess every day. Not a guy, I think the teacher told me that, yeah. We get recess every day. So we went out to the field. And people bought their soccer balls. There was like a 4-square place. There was like a playground. It was interesting. And then so people went to go play soccer. I love soccer, but I didn't want to play soccer. Then I just wanted to meet people, meet some friends. So I started talking to a lot of people. And then when I started talking to people, people started treating me differently. I was not understanding why people were like, I didn't really understand because I was like an innocent kid back then. But then I started catching on that people's body language were weird around me. People were like being weird. And I realized that they started calling me weird, and I started realizing that I was different from them, which means I gotta change or I gotta try to be like them. So I went back home that day. Not so good of a first day of school, to be honest. I told my mom that like what happened. She was like, oh, you'll get used to it, you know. So I was like, all right, so tomorrow will be a new day. I feel like I didn't know white people treated me like that because I was different. I feel like it was like they were thought by their parents like not to be friendly because like few people were friendly, like a few amount of people were friendly, and then like the unfriendly kids would talk to the friendly kids, not to like associate with me because I was different. It was weird. But what I learned from that experience is that it's like being different is not always a bad thing. But as a young kid, I thought being different was bad. So I would try to change myself, try to fit in the whole time. But what I learned also is you gotta be yourself, and then things will play out. And